Oh, thus be it ever, when free men shall stand.
Now is the time to rage against the tyrants. We have several videos for you today. One of them encouraging, powerful, it really just struck to my bones, and I hope that it will do the same for you. And then we also have some videos of people defying tyrants that we are going to discuss today. And then I've been getting tons of emails about the late tweet Sunday night. I'm recording the show Sunday at 8:41 p.m., where Jenna Ellis released a statement from the Trump team distancing themselves from Sidney Powell, or what appears to them be them distancing themselves from Sidney Powell. I have a few thoughts about that, but they're just speculation, as is everybody right now. Everyone's speculating. And then I want to talk to you a little bit about Georgia. And the whole purpose of this episode is I want you guys to not be discouraged. I don't want you to fall for the trap of what the media is doing and what the liberals are trying to get you. They're trying to get you to be discouraged. They're trying to make you feel like there's no hope, that we are being led down a wild goose chase. It's a conspiracy theory and all this stuff. And it's not true. And all you have to remind yourself of is the media and the left have been lying to you forever. They have been spinning the truth forever. Why would they be now telling you the truth? Why would they be now being honest? And the answer is there's no reason for them to be honest. In fact, they're scared out of their minds. This thing is far from over. And I want you to take heart and be encouraged by that, because this battle is just getting started. Welcome to the show. My name is Matt Williams. Thank you for listening, sharing the show. Guys, I mean, we've been doubling our numbers week over week. I can't ask for any more than that. It's been a blessing the last 3 or 4 weeks, been talking about this. You guys have obviously been loving the content, and so just thank you for that. You can email me with any questions or thoughts or your theories, matt@howtobuildatent.com. You can find me on all the social media sites, How to Build a Tent. You can find me on Parler if you don't want to, if you do want to see my stuff and you want to be on a site where I'm not getting censored like so many other people. It's crazy. Even Sidney Powell yesterday was banned from Twitter for the day, apparently. Fantastic. Absolutely amazing. Like, how do you ban an attorney in part of court cases right now? Anyways, it's because they're in on it. That's what it really is. All right, so let's get to it at first. I'm going to share my screen. For those of you who are listening on the podcast, I would highly recommend going over to YouTube and watching this, because I'm going to be showing you a lot of videos. The audio will, suffice, but it's really powerful watching these videos, and I'm going to be sharing some Twitter screenshots, especially in the beginning, to talk about what's going on. Okay, the first one I want to go to is this guy named Roscoe Davis. And you might be like, who's Roscoe? And I don't really know who he is, but I've been following him for a bit, and he's been pretty right about things. And I'm seeing the people that are following him as well, which makes me think that he is some kind of bigger deal than I know him to be. But anyways, I just wanted to kind of give you this perspective about Georgia. This isn't about Sidney Powell. This is about Georgia. And then we'll get into Sidney Powell for a second. There is going to be, this is what he says. I'm just going to say what he says. What he tweeted. And again, you can check out his Twitter handle. For those of you listening who can't see it right now, you can go to it. It's Roscoe Davis 1. And he says, for those that weren't paying attention Friday to the Wood trial, it's the state's position that in order to perform a statewide hand count ballot audit, they have to have certification of results. That's the official position. So they have to certify the election to have the count and the ballot audit. Kemp knows well, I'm not going to say this because he starts having some expletives. Kemp knows well that stuff is going to hit the fan, and that's why he immediately called for a statewide audit, and the same breath he announced the certification. The state's inability to keep the signature envelopes with the ballot is going to be a huge problem for Georgia. And then he goes on to say, stop listening to idiots telling you that the certification is the end of it in Georgia. It's just the beginning. And I just wanted to share that with you to have a different perspective. I don't know if he's right or not. It seems like it's plausible. Again, he has been right. But that seems to be, and it's really weird that they certified and then kind of didn't certify, and then they asked for the recount, and then they're going to certify. So that is the most logical explanation to me about what's going to happen, because Sidney Powell has been threatening Georgia Republicans. They've been in on it too. This is bipartisan tyranny, apparently. And I mean, that just kind of makes sense for any of us who've been following along and thinking for ourselves. The Republicans, for the most part, have not been on our side either. All right, so let me switch to a new screen. This is the next one. I'm going to get better at pivoting through my tabs in a second, but eventually, not in a second. It's going to take a few shows. All right, so this was the announcement yesterday that everybody has been emailing me about. And it came out, it's effective, or it was dated November 22nd, 2020. I don't think it's effective because I don't think anything changed. But what it said was, Sidney Powell is practicing law on her own. She is not a member of the Trump legal team. She is also not a lawyer for the president in his personal capacity. Rudy Giuliani, attorney for President Trump, and Jenna Ellis, Trump campaign senior legal advisor and attorney for President Trump. And there's been some confusion, and even on my part, where what does this mean? Are they saying Sidney Powell's crazy and everything she's been talking about, and that's why they're distancing herself for her? I've been seeing tweets and screenshots of where they've been saying that she's part of the team and all of this good stuff. And honestly, what I think it is, this is my own personal opinion. I do not have any inside knowledge or anything like that. But one of the things you need to realize is not just with Sidney Powell, but also with Lynnwood, who's the one who's been waging or filing litigation in Georgia to overturn the Georgia results, is they don't necessarily work for Trump. They're not hired by Trump. They are not on retainer by Trump. They're not in an official capacity with Trump. But they have what's called in the legal world is common interest privilege, where they have the same interest. It's in common. They have a common interest. And so they work together and share things together, although they are not actually on the same team, the legal team. And I know there's been conflation with that term of who's on the legal team. There's been screenshots of Donald Trump saying it. There's been screenshots of even Jenna Ellis saying it, which she's just, gotten herself into trouble with tweets of late, in my opinion. But so what I think is happening here is Sidney Powell is about to release the Kraken, quote unquote, whatever that is, or is working on releasing the Kraken. Who knows when it's going to be? Some people have been saying it's going to be this week. I hope so. But it's going to include Republicans. And I don't know why the statement is here. If you remember, if you just read, as I was reading this, thought to yourself, it didn't say as of in effect or immediately or as of a certain date. It's reading as if it's always been true. It's not that something changed. And you can go back and look at it. Jenna Ellis, ESQ Esquire, is where the statement is, where I found it. And you could read it, and it doesn't look like anything changed. It looks like there's points of clarity. And my theory is, my uneducated theory, is that it is because Sidney Powell is about to unleash this Kraken, this mythical creature, and it's going to have Republicans in the crosshair. And she said that, in fact, this weekend on Newsmax, where she said specifically in Georgia, Republicans are in on this and have been bought off, I believe is her allegations. And so I think that for the long term, Trump doesn't want to be the one who looks like he's hiring people to take out Republicans. That's not going to help things when he's president again and trying to get things done. That's my reasoning as to why I think this is happening. And let's see. And then you can look. I'm not going to screen share these other ones. But here, I'll just take the screen down, and you can just look at me reading things. But Lynnwood, L. Lynnwood on Twitter, and he's on Parler too, said, Sidney Powell and I are more alike than we are different. We are fighting different legal battles for the same clients. We, the people voted overwhelmingly to reelect real Donald Trump. All interests are aligned. And that goes back to the common interest principle. And then also Jack Flynn, which is the brother of Michael Flynn. And he said, defending the Republic, Sidney Powell's legal defense fund. The statement tonight was simple clarification of Sidney Powell's role. Why would she need a fund site set up for her if she was being paid by the RNC? Sidney is our warrior supporter. Okay, so, and that's defendingtherepublic.org. And so there's these people in her camp. The Flynns are obviously in her camp. She's their attorney, got Michael Flynn off and got him set free, that are saying that this doesn't mean anything. And in fact, she had a statement where she understands it. I mean, I think it's I don't know. I don't think it means anything as far as a severed relationship of Sidney, but I believe it is a chess piece. I just don't know what it is exactly for. So there's my 2 cents. And now let's get to the raging against tyrants. This is awesome, guys. I'm telling you, I'm so encouraged by this. This is how we need to be thinking. This is how we need to have our mindsets as Americans again. Because this is how we were founded. This was the mindset we had as founders, is raging against tyrants. And we've got lackadaisical. We got comfortable. We kind of just lived with the tyranny of the government. And we're at a place where we're never going back. Regardless if Trump wins this battle, Americans aren't going back. It is never going to be the same after this because of how blatant the government overreached and overstepped. It has shined a light and opened up so much of what has been wrong with this country, and we're never going back one way or the other. So we're going to get into examples to encourage you to come alongside of us and dance. We got to come along and dance and rage against the tyrants. But before that, I want to talk to you about Samaritan's Ministries. Let's be honest, talking about health insurance is something no one really likes to do. It can be confusing with lots of jargon. Plus, who really knows what's it actually going to take care of? That's why Samaritan Ministries is a healthcare option you should consider. It's not insurance. It's Christians sharing healthcare costs and encouraging one another when there's a medical need. Samaritan members know that when an illness or injury happens, fellow members have their backs. Here's how it works. There are no network restrictions. You choose your doctor, hospital, and pharmacy. Send your medical bills to Samaritan Ministries. They notify other members to send you money to help pay your shareable bills, which in some cases could include therapeutic massage and alternative medical practices. Samaritan members send a fixed amount every month directly to another member, and the cost for one person could be as low as $75 a month. You can join Samaritan Ministries any time of year. Why not today? Learn more at SamaritanMinistries.org. That's SamaritanMinistries.org. And I'm just telling you on a side note, this isn't part of the read, this is a great way for you to not send your money to companies that are health insurance companies that support abortion. You are going to be part of something, a business. You're going to be having to help share with medical bills where you don't have to participate and contributing to abortions. One of the best reasons to become a Samaritan Ministries customer, client, whatever they call themselves. So go check them out, SamaritanMinistries.org. All right, let's check this out. Okay, so guys, there's this psychological study that happened, and Dan Bongino talks about it a lot. This is where I heard about it from him. And it's true, and we see it. And we see it first in this video. This is a really great video. There's this Marine who is at a Trump rally, and he talks about the second verse of the Star Spangled Banner, and then he sings it like you heard in the beginning intro of the show. And then you see one person stand up behind them and stand as they are singing this. And then you see the rest of the crowd happen. And the rest of the crowd stand up, hands over their hearts. And this is important because this is how people work in crowds. It's not the first person that stands up that makes the momentum and it gets others to follow suit. It's the second person. It's not the first person standing up against tyrants, the first person raging against the tyrants that causes the shift of momentum, that causes others to rally to the cause, like we have seen and are going to see coming up in a few videos. But it's the second person. And why is that important? Because now is the time to fight, for you and me to rage against tyrants. And if there comes a day in your life a moment in your day where you're seeing someone by themselves raging against a tyrant, you need to become that second dancer. You need to become that second person that stands up. And I guess I didn't really explain the study very well. But so the sociological study is that there will be a large crowd of people. And one person will start dancing and people will make fun of them and kind of tease them and stuff. But then a second person will start dancing. And then once that second person starts dancing, then others would join in. And it was just an experiment where it's not the first person that has the power, but it's the second person. And so we need to be that second dancer. We need to be that second person that rages against the tyrants. And so I just want to hear this first video. You heard the intro in peace. I just want you to hear the full thing because it is absolutely beautiful. And I want you to be inspired from this Marine veteran. It was absolutely phenomenal. Let me try to share it again. Here we go.
One question was raised about how we teach our young people, and I'm a former Marine, and I became aware that there are two verses, and we need to hear the second verse, which says, "Oh, thus be it ever, when free men shall stand between their loved homes and the war's desolation, blessed with victory and peace, may the heaven rescued land praise the power that has made and preserved us a nation. Then conquer we must when our cause it is just, and this be our motto: in God is our trust, and the star-spangled banner in triumph shall wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave."
Conquer we must when our cause is just, and our motto should be, in God we trust. You know, I hear a lot of criticisms from Christians and Big Eva and others say, we are Christians before we're Americans. And that is true. We are. We are Christians. Our citizenship is in heaven primarily, and our citizenship as Americans are secondary. But what they miss, and I don't want you to miss either, is that our country was founded on Christian principles. Not everyone was a Christian, hence Judeo-Christian values. Within that term, there is diversity. Within that term, Christians are ceding that there are non-Christians, Judeo-Christian, Jews and Christians. Christians don't think Jews are saved. So it allows for diversity. But the truth of it is that America was founded on the Bible. If you read John Locke's 2 Treatises of Government, he would list a biblical passage and say, therefore, governments have these obligations. This biblical passage, and therefore, God gave us these rights. It was all founded on the Bible. And in as much is our cause is just, not all of them have been, in as much as our motto becomes true again, in God we trust, we should fight for this country. We should fight to return it back to Christ. And one of the most encouraging things I've seen, Mike Pompeo, I've seen Flynn, General Flynn, and others that are on our side sharing scripture, because what we need is to return to those biblical principles. Not that we must force everyone to become a Christian, but we must return to a nation that is set on these principles. Until we do, this problem is not going to be fixed. We're going to run into these problems all over again. We're going to continue fighting them. But listen to that. That's part of our Star Spangled Banner song. In God we trust. We must be victorious because our cause is just. I hope that inspires you. All right, I'm going to play these two videos back to back because we're running out of time. This is in Buffalo, New York, where a group of businesses are coming together and they're being confronted, for those of you listening, by the sheriffs and a health inspector. Someone ratted them out and they said they were violating the code restrictions of having too many people in the business. And I just want you to listen and watch. If you normally listen on the podcast, you should come and watch these just for the videos and see, because it's better to see the confrontation happen live. This is what we need more of. This is what it looks like to fight ever a cause that is just, to remember in God we trust. This is what it looks like to rage against tyrants. To rage against tyrants.
These people actually work for their money, and they don't want to lose their livelihood. I've lost friends, I've lost family who've killed themselves. I've seen clients die because they've lost their livelihood.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I know you are, and I'm asking for you to guys have some compassion for the people that have lost everything.
We do have compassion for people who
Okay, well, you need to go have compassion out in the parking lot.
But
this is private property.
This is
private property. This is private property. It's private property. Go get a warrant. Listen, man, this is private property. They're not wanted here. So do your jobs.
Well, her job is...
Well, no, your job is to remove people that are not wanted here.
You have a permit.
We're wanted here. They're not.
You have
She's
a health
hiding her name
department
tag.
permit?
She had her
I'm
name
not.
tag.
It's right here. It's marked here. You can see my name
They're just
tag.
doing their job.
There we go.
You should all be wearing masks. How come
I'm not
none of
doing
you have
anything
masks
wrong.
on?
Don't worry about my health. My health isn't your
You're
concern.
meant to be wearing a mask. It's a government
Okay, well,
mandate.
then write me up.
It's the law.
Okay, then take me to jail.
It's not the law.
Then take me to jail.
Show me the law.
Show me the law. Show me the law.
Well, I think we got to go, John.
You have to leave. You guys have to leave.
You guys need to leave.
have to leave.
Right now, you're trespassing without a warrant. You need to leave.
Civil
You need
disobedience
to
starts
leave.
now.
You're trespassing.
We're not
Were you
trespassing.
You're
invited onto the
trespassing.
property?
Doesn't matter.
Then
We
you're
have a right to
trespassing.
be
It doesn't
here.
Then get a warrant. Go get a warrant.
You need a warrant.
Go get a warrant.
You're trespassing.
Yes, you do.
Come back with the warrant or leave.
Don't write the law.
Outside. No, go on your
They've
phone
been asked to
outside.
leave several
Go on your phone
occasions.
outside.
I would really like it if you
Where
would
did
stop
you hear the
shouting at me.
report
I haven't
from?
done
Okay, we
anything
would
wrong.
like to violate the law. We would like to
Where?
leave.
Who reported
Go
it?
leave.
Who reported it? Who reported it?
You know what? I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Because
anonymous, right?
anonymous.
It's
Yes,
anonymous.
it is.
They
But it's
can't
a
be
legitimate
anonymous.
complaint.
You need to
It
know
can
your
be,
accuser. You need to
that's
know. It
not-
cannot
Okay,
be
wait,
anonymous.
you gotta go get a warrant.
It
It's not
cannot
how
be
health
anonymous.
department-
It
You
cannot be
gotta
anonymous.
go get a warrant.
You don't get to
You gotta go
write
get a
the
warrant.
policies. You
It's
don't get to
code
violate the
enforcement.
Constitution.
This
It does
isn't
not
the
matter.
same
You
as
don't
that.
circumvent or subvert the Constitution.
Okay, miss, you need to leave.
Then conquer we must, when our cause it is just. And this be our motto, and God is our trust. And star-spangled banner in triumph shall wave o'er the land of the free, and be home of the brave. I said I was going to show two videos, but let's just leave it at that one. The other one is of people defying the curfew in California. Thousands of people in Huntington Beach, in the bluest of blue, just like this clip from New York. The bluest of blue, defying tyrants, raging against tyrants. We have to get really comfortable as businesses, like these guys, as individuals, as patriots, as Christians, of raging just like that. Just like that. Together, in unity, in groups, and raging against the tyrants. The tyrants didn't like being yelled at, but it was just. They deserved to be yelled at. They were coming to shut down people's livelihoods, their provisions for their families. This is the fight that's coming. This is how we conquer. This is the fight in front of us. And conquer we must, when our cause it is just. And this be our motto, and God is our trust. Let's not let this be an empty phrase, platitude, saying any longer. But let's lead our nation back to trusting in God and having our foundation be his word, where we can conquer against the tyrants once more. We'll talk to you tomorrow. God bless.
Oh, thus be it ever, when free men shall stand between their loved homes and the war's desolation, blessed with victory and peace, may the heaven rescued land praise the power that has made and preserved us a nation. Then conquer we must, when our cause it is just, and this be our motto: in God is our trust. And the star-spangled banner in triumph shall wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
That's what I'm talking about.